Welcome to the Night Shadows channel. Get ready to dive into a new horror story. Put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and let your mind wander through the darkest corners of imagination. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily stories. Now, take a deep breath and step into the story, if you dare. The figures of despair emerged, grotesque and haunting, clawing at the edges of their resolve. Clara steeled herself, her heart pounding in her chest as she focused on the light within her, the hope that had brought them all together. "Hold strong!" she shouted, the words spilling from her lips like a lifeline. "We will not be broken. We are united in our strength, and together we will cast you out." As her voice rose above the darkness, a brilliant light erupted from the villagers, illuminating the clearing in a blinding glow. Clara felt the warmth of their collective courage washing over her, pushing back against the shadows that threatened to engulf them. The darkness writhed and twisted, screaming in protest as the light surged forward, a torrent of brilliance flooding the clearing. Clara could feel the weight of their fears beginning to lift, each pulse of light dispelling the shadows inch by inch. But just as victory seemed within reach, a chilling presence surged forward, the embodiment of their darkest fears materializing before them. It was a figure clad in shadows, its eyes burning with malevolence, a reflection of every doubt and regret that had ever plagued them. Clara felt a pang of fear deep within her, the shadows clawing at her heart. "No!" she shouted, defiance surging within her. "You have no power here!" With one final surge of energy, the villagers channeled their strength into a blinding beacon of light. Clara stepped forward, standing tall against the encroaching darkness, her heart racing but unwavering. "Together!" she cried out, the words echoing through the night. "We will not yield!" As the light engulfed the figure of darkness, Clara felt the shadows begin to recede, their chilling grasp weakening. The energy surged around them, the power of their unity igniting a flame of hope that pushed back against despair. In that moment, Clara knew that they were not just fighting for their village but for every person who had ever been consumed by fear. They were reclaiming their narrative, rewriting the story of their ancestors with strength and courage. With one final cry, the darkness shattered, dissipating into the night like smoke in the wind. The air felt lighter, the oppressive weight lifted as the villagers stood together, hearts pounding with exhilaration and relief. As the last remnants of the darkness faded away, Clara looked around at her friends and neighbors, tears of joy streaming down her face. They had faced their fears and emerged victorious, but the battle was far from over. The darkness may have been pushed back for now, but Clara felt a stirring within her, a sense that this was only the beginning of their journey. In the quiet aftermath, as the stars twinkled above and the moon cast a silvery glow over the clearing, Clara took a deep breath, the taste of triumph mingling with a newfound determination. They had reclaimed their light, but she knew they must remain vigilant. The shadows may retreat, but Clara was resolute in her vow to protect her village, to ensure they would never again be consumed by the darkness. They would forge ahead together, stronger than before, united in their shared light, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a heart full of hope and a spirit ignited by the flame of unity, Clara knew that they would continue to stand against the darkness, not just as individuals but as a collective force, a beacon of light that would shine bright against the shadows. As dawn broke over the village, Clara awoke with a renewed sense of purpose, the echoes of their triumphant ritual still reverberating in her heart. The sun streamed through her window, casting warm rays of light that danced across the wooden floor, yet despite the bright morning, a gnawing sense of dread clung to her. She knew the battle against the darkness was far from over. It was merely a pause before the storm. Clara gathered herself, her resolve solidifying. After the confrontation, the villagers had returned to their homes, still buzzing with the adrenaline of their victory, but the unease in the air was unmistakable. They had driven back the shadows, yet the malevolent force had merely retreated, lurking just beyond the edges of their newfound peace. In the days following the ritual, Clara observed a change in the village. Whispers filled the air, shadows seemed to linger longer than they should, and villagers began to act strangely, as if they were haunted by memories of the darkness. Clara's mind raced as she pondered the implications. Had their victory merely been an illusion? Clara? Tomas' voice cut through her thoughts as he approached, concern etched on his face. You've been distant since the ritual. Are you all right? I don't know, Tomas, she admitted, her voice a whisper. Something feels off. It's as if the darkness is waiting for us to let our guard down. Tomas nodded, his expression grave. I've felt it too. Some of the villagers have been having nightmares again, reliving their fears. I overheard Ms. Elena talking about strange occurrences at the old mill. It's as if the shadows are trying to take hold again. Clara's heart raced at the mention of the mill, a place steeped in old legends, known for its eerie atmosphere and stories of lost souls. We have to investigate, she said, her determination hardening. If the darkness is returning, we need to confront it before it can fully manifest. Together, they set off toward the old mill, the sun hanging low in the sky, casting long shadows that danced along the cobblestones. As they walked, Clara could feel the weight of the atmosphere shift. The air grew thick with tension, each step echoing with the unspoken fears that had begun to resurface in the village. When they reached the mill, a chill ran down Clara's spine. The building loomed before them, its wooden structure weathered and creaking, as if the very bones of the mill were whispering secrets of despair. Stay close, Clara instructed, her voice steady but laced with an undercurrent of anxiety. They stepped inside, the door creaking ominously as it swung open. Dust motes hung in the air, illuminated by slivers of light breaking through the cracks in the walls. The atmosphere felt heavy, suffocating, as if the very walls were closing in around them. Listen, Tomas whispered, straining to hear. The silence was deafening, but beneath it, Clara thought she could hear the faintest of whispers, a soft, sinister melody that tugged at her very core. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the back of the mill, causing Clara to jump. What was that? She exclaimed, adrenaline flooding her system. I don't know, Tomas replied, his eyes wide with fear. But we should check it out. Clara nodded, her heart pounding in her chest as they moved cautiously toward the source of the noise. Each step felt like a descent into the depths of the unknown, the shadows creeping closer, pressing against their resolve. As they rounded the corner, they found a pile of old crates toppled over, scattered like the remnants of a long-forgotten memory. Clara's gaze swept the room, searching for anything out of the ordinary. The whispers grew louder, coiling around her mind like a serpent, and for a moment, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over her. Clara, look! Tomas' voice broke through her trance as he pointed to the far wall. A strange symbol had been etched into the wood, dark and twisted, pulsating with an unnatural energy. Clara felt her breath catch in her throat as she stepped closer, recognizing the markings from the journal they had found.